Hello. Hello, miss. Hello, Jib. How are you? Are you well? You ready to conjure fire and encounter locked doors? Can confirm one of those is going to happen before the other. But the door is locked, I heard. Right, let's get the... We're going to stick with the Grim Fandango soundtrack because... Yeah. Reasons. Mostly copyright based. Unless I decide to sit down over the weekend and create an entire 2-hour smorgasbord of copyright-free 1920s ragtime music. You hit a vibe, goodo. Vibe away. I think this is supposed to be quite quiet, so I'll leave it at the volume I think it should be. Let's get back to the 1918s. You know, the multiple 1918s. Yes, indeed. Right. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's well. As well as circumstances will allow. Yeah. We're back to the Bioshocks. Here it is. It's the Bioshocks. The Bioshock Infinites. There are multiple of them, turns out. They went... It's a bit like the Microsoft naming scheme. Microsoft doesn't know how to number things either. This one went 1 to infinite. So, you know. So what happened last time? Good question. What happened last time is we're on a boat. Our name is Jack G.P. Walters. There we are. We're here. We're on a boat with two as yet unknown people wearing waterproof clothing, having a bit of an argument among one another. They both have strong British accents, despite the fact that this takes place in 1918 Maine. We're off the coast of Maine. And they're having an argument about some sort of experiment. Things working, things not working, so on and so forth. There was one bit of the conversation I forgot to mention last time, which is my favourite bit, which is the female of the two. The female. Why I said female. The woman of the group, because one of them's a man, one of them's a woman, refuses to row because she doesn't want any. She says she wants no part in this experiment. And so she says, "Why don't you get your friends to help you row?" Because the man's complaining about rowing. And he says, "Oh no, he doesn't row." To which the woman says, "What do you mean he doesn't row?" To which he responds, no, he doesn't row. And she goes, "Ah, I see what you mean." That's my favourite bit of the dialogue. For reasons which will become apparent in approximately 3 months. Hi, Doc, how you doing? He doesn't row. No, he doesn't row. He doesn't row. Yes, and we had a box. The box contained a snub-nosed revolver, a picture with some keys, a scroll, and chewing gum on it, an actual key, and a picture of somebody, another female. He has back problems? Oh, I know that feeling. And on the back of it, it says, "Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt." And we're heading to a lighthouse in the middle of nowhere. We also generated some bits and bobs that we're going to use through the playthrough. Main character is Jack G.P. Walters. The name Berry is going to appear at some point. We have an initial F and the surname Locksman. We read a transcript from a book by F. Locksman at the beginning. The book was called something along the lines of Barriers to Transdimensional Travel. So you know there's going to be some shenanigans. And it said something along the lines of the brain will create memories. The brain will desperately attempt to create memories where none exist, or something like that. And we randomly generated the number 47. Appropriately enough. Yeah. So we went to the lighthouse. There's a dead body there with the words "Do not disappoint us" hanging over its neck, and various bits of vaguely pseudo-religious quotation embroidered and hung up in frames above a sink. We got to the top of the lighthouse. We input a code from the thing that we got. It went dong. The sky also went dong back, which is a bit weird. A chair emerged. We decided to sit in the chair. The chair then turned into a rocket, which stole our revolver. We rocketed up into the air And we found the Columbia, which how do I do this now? Columbia, floating city of Columbia, I guess. I was going to say floating city of floating cities. That doesn't make it. That's whatever. We found the country of Columbia. We'll get to that. Which I'm now using as my background for the thing. On our way down, because the rocket has to descend at some point, with a parachute, luckily, we start reading things like, and lo, the prophet raised us from the Sodom below to his new Eden. And that's not, I don't think that's a quote in the game, but it's stitched together from a lot of quotes in the game, because I can't remember the exact wording. This game desperately tries to hammer lots and lots of things to you as the game goes on. And we see a picture of the prophet, Lord Jefferson. Not related to Thomas Jefferson. We then arrive, landing in a big building. I'm not entirely sure how we got in the building. I don't know the mechanism. I think there was a mechanism. Where we found a very friendly, possibly too friendly, vicar, priest, somebody in a baptismal font, who explained that the only way into the city is to be baptized, which his idea of baptizing was basically to drown us. Praise be Lord Jefferson. It could be, you don't know. That's true. Might be. So yeah, and while we were drowning, we had a few hallucinatory images of an office, waking up in an office with discarded betting stubs on the desk and probably bottles of whiskey and whatever. A suspicious door that we couldn't open, and a door with somebody banging on the other side, which in a distorted voice is saying, "Open up, Mr. Walters." On the door it does say that we are a investigator of matters both private and public. I like that phrasing. And we open the door, and what do we see? That's right, the destruction of Manhattan by the floating city that we are presumably in. Which is a bit weird, because I don't think the city looks like this at this point in time. But you know, whatever. It definitely doesn't look on fire, but who knows? We then get hit by a thing and wake up. We wake up on the other side of the baptismal font, having entered the city, surrounded by statues of American presidents. One of them is Thomas Jefferson, one of them is George Washington, the worst image of George Washington you're ever going to see, holding out chewing gum. And the other one? Benjamin Franklin, that's it. Gold statues, I didn't mention that last time, they're gold! Very luxurious. And yes, we are very confused. As well we might. And that is the recap of the last stream. Hi Kiro, I don't know if I said hi. Hi! Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying warm. Any questions so far? Because if there are, Lord help us, it's only going to get worse. By the way, I recommend looking up screenshots of this game. Well, spoilers, I guess, but because the game has very nice art direction in quite a lot of ways. And I'm absolutely not going to do any of that justice. Why is there a city in the sky? Because the prophet said that he would create a new Eden in the sky. And lo, they were raised from the Sodom below. Who is Columbia's plumber? No, we don't meet a plumber, do we? And so you meet a plumber in Bioshock 1. You don't meet anyone in Bioshock 1, but yeah, I don't know. There is actually a bit where you see pipe work. Oh yeah, I told you to remind me about plumbing when we get to a certain point. Although you will probably already... is this in the same world as Rapture? No. Or at the very least, Rapture it wouldn't exist now because Rapture is in the future. This is 1918. I think Rapture is in the 30s or 40s. So if it was in the same world, this would be a prequel. But it's not Rapture based. You know, we're not gonna fall off of this and then fall into the sea and then swim to Rapture. You say that. I'm saying is what it is. How do we not get blown off the city? How do we breathe? These are questions that the game does not answer. There are many questions of that kind that the game chooses not to answer. You know too much, yeah. But yes, at no point in this game do we travel from Columbia to Rapture or anything like that. You know, there is no reference to Andrew Ryan being in this world, etc., etc. This is a separate universe, as far as I am aware. I think that should satisfy the answer to the question. It's not the whole answer, but whatever. You have watched a playthrough of this game, it's very good. G'day! This is a good time. I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this door. It's literally something he's opening to go through. Because we go through here, it's a big old gate or whatever, and we get our first sort of on-the-ground glimpse, because previously we were in a garden, which was surrounded by stuff, and now we get a big old glimpse of the city proper, over like a balcony that's sort of curving around. Like that. And there's probably some bushes or something here. I don't know how perspective works, so I advise that you don't worry about it. Science! She blinded me with science. There's some sort of railing here. Okay, yeah. And Jack pops his head out. How do hands work? Oh no, I'm already doing hands. Quick hands though. We've got a lot to get through in this game, and I was very slow last time. How's everybody's week going? Is it good? Vote right away and marry the twins. We haven't got there yet. Although I have a feeling that Chibi might say the same thing when we do. Watch the sunset there. It's very pretty. Oh, lovely. I think her hair's probably still a bit wet. We almost got drowned. It's fine, don't worry about it. I've forgotten how to draw. This happens every time, every draw through. Never gets better. Almost certainly, yes. Won't be long. We might meet them today. Depending on how quick you are, I'm going to give you some options of things you can look at if you want, but... I've forgotten how to draw. I know I've said that already, but it's important. It's important to reiterate these things. Because then it makes you exempt from any possible criticism. Anyway, we walk out and immediately a child runs up to us. With like a little cap.
You.
You. And he goes, telegram, Mr. Walters. which is a bit weird. We've just arrived. And he hands us a telegram. Like that. I guess I could just say what it says on the telegram while I'm drawing. The telegram reads... what does it read? It's a good question. I think it says something along the lines of... Seek out Monument Island, stop. Because it's a telegram, you've got to have the word stop in it somewhere. Yeah, seek out Monument Island, stop. Don't let him find you, stop. No, don't let Jefferson find you. I think it specifies Jefferson. Whatever you do, don't pick 47, stop. And it is addressed to... Hang on, who was it addressed to? That's a good question. It is addressed from F. Locksman. That's who it's addressed from. And they work like this, it's fine. It is none of your concern. Yep. This all looks absolutely fine. Do not concern with yourself with the fact that nothing looks right. This kid is is standing on a box, it's fine. That old trick. I've definitely used that one before. 47's here, Diana here. Maybe. I mean, I could accept a headcanon that Diana's in the game. What are those things, the not cartoons exactly, but the arcade things later on in the game? Dimwit and something? It feels like I've just drawn the other one. Anywho, wet and disheveled, we get this telegram, which again I will just reiterate. So something along the lines of seek Monument Island. I'll just put a full stop. Don't let... Oh, I think it says don't let Jefferson know you're here or something like that. The wording isn't particularly important. Don't let Jefferson know you're here, so that just makes more sense. And whatever you do, don't pick number 47. F. What name again? Locksman? Is it Locksman? Never do what a child does it. Well, the child's just giving us a delivery. Do not distrust the messenger. And from that point on, you've got a little bit of exploring that you can do. Punt them. Yeah, what? Okay, let's think what's around. I seem to remember that over here there's some little stand with some binoculars. So you can have a little look at the surroundings. There's a kind of floating ship coming nearby that's got it's got weird engine things on it that that's gonna makes it look really sci-fi and stuff, but it's a floating thing. And it's got a big old billboard with bees on it. So you could examine that. What else is there? There is there's a connected island component, which I'm just going to draw over here, and it's got some shops on it, and a big old statue. You can go see what the statue is about. What else is there? There is over this way. There's the sounds of parade. Ooh, yee, ooh, ah. That's how speech bubbles work, right? Whatever. Sorry, what's going on? You were trying very hard to find a specific image on Tumblr, which is a nightmare. We were given a message which says, "Seek Monument Island. Don't let Jefferson know you're here. Whatever you do, don't pick number 47 from F. Locksman." From this point on, we get some things that we can go and do. You can either have a look through some binoculars, have a look at the scenery. You can go to where a floating ship is docking that has a picture of bees on it. There's a statue over here that you can have a look at, or there's the sounds of a parade off in the distance. Parade? What's that? Like what they had in the olden times? Yes, indeed. Back in the 1918s. I'm not sure whether it was the earlier 1918s or the later 1918s, but... Bees! Oh, and there's a shop somewhere. You can go to the shop's here. It's got some boxes outside. Don't have the BK emote, but if you know the dude, you'd be spamming it right now. Okay, let's go and look at some bees. So we get to the ship sort of flies nearby your floating platform. Actually, do you know what? I could do this symmetrically. Whatever, you get the idea. Like a balcony sort of thing. I think actually there's some grass up here. So there's like a brick edge, and then there's a little grass area. I think there's people having a picnic. And the ship sort of hovers into view. And like I said, there's a big billboard at the back. It's got like pictures of bees on it. And then there's some areas at the front and back for driving and stuff. But standing on here are not, unfortunately, anthropomorphic bees. Much though I would love that to be the case. There are, in fact... I can't believe I committed myself to drawing this.
Release the bees.
Release the bees. Is it Bioshock 2 that you can release the bees? I don't remember it in 1. Yeah, we have a Barbershop Quartet. The music that they are singing I would play right now, but, you know, copyright. Wearing all nice matching suits and things, I think, sort of tails and stuff. All stripy. Barbershop Quartet. Oh, that makes it sound like it's Justin Bieber. It's in 1. Oh, I didn't know it was in 1. It's great against Big Daddies. I just used a rocket launcher. Does the job quite well. I haven't played that game in ages. I want to play that game now. These two have big noses. And little moustaches. Yep. Saves half the drawing, doesn't it? Like I say, I think they're wearing sort of stripy suits or something. It's all very stylized. And yeah, it's a lovely thing, lovely little song they're singing. However, us as the player, outside of us being the protagonist, may possibly notice that the song that they're singing is God Only Knows, which I think was by the Beach Boys. I think I'm right. Is that right? Was it the Beach Boys? And it's a lovely arrangement. It's very nice. I'm always a big fan of good Barbershop Quartet arrangements because it's surprisingly tricky to get that to work. 2 sets of twins in a Barbershop Quartet. What a coinky dink. I'm sure twins will never be a thing in the Drawthrough again. So yeah, they're singing a good version of, is it God? Yeah, God Only Knows is the, I'm gonna look it up. God only knows what I'd be without you. Beach Boys, there we are, from the 1966 album Pet Sound. I've been meaning to listen to it. Yeah. So they're having a sing and it's lovely, and I recommend you look it up because it's a good version. So yeah, they pop down, they have a little sing, and then they fly away like the transient bees that they are. I'm now going to say that canonically their stripy tops are yellow and black. I'm pretty sure they weren't, but they are now. Bees! Taking us right back to the Forest of Doom, drawing these.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Need to work on the timing there, Hazel, but beef, it all comes back to bees. God only knows what the heck is going on. Yeah, I can't remember why the theme of bees. Pretty sure there's a theme of bees. So I'm not making that up, am I? And this one's winking. Hazel's clearly not part of a Barbershop Quartet. I would love to take some clips of Hazel saying something and then auto-tune it to be Barbershop Quartet 4-part harmony. Hello, my ragtime gal. So yeah, lovely little Beach Boys number in the style of the Barbershop Quartet. So that was nice. What do we want to do now? There was the shop, there's the parade, there's the binoculars, and there's the statue. I just clicked on Discord and I've got a gif of the banana splits dancing in front of me now. It fits. Hello, my baby. Is it one of those binoculars that cost money? No, they are free to use. Quite a lot of things in Colombia are free to use, to be fair. But not everything. As we shall see. We've also got little, in that case, binoculars. Cool. Let's go to a set of binoculars. I will also save myself time by doing that. Lovely. Yeah, you look through the binoculars and you can see the skyline. You can look around and see some lovely floating things and some art and such. Something else you can see is a man. In fact, you can probably see several men, but in particular, there's a particular man. One singular man. That's an interesting way of putting it. One single man. Another interesting way to put it. One fancy boy. Also another way to put it. Who I would like to add doesn't look anything like this. I'm just bad. Don't remember who this is? You just had those words in your head? Well, you're not wrong. Who is sharply dressed, and is juggling in the street. Just having a bit of a juggle. Can't remember if he's juggling anything in particular, but he's juggling. There's a parade. Everyone's having a good time. Knives. Okay, it's juggling knives. I can go with that. Knives, pliers. No. Is he single? Well, if it helps answer your question, he's not alone. Because standing next to him and not looking particularly impressed with what's going on, there should probably be a third knife, make him look a bit more interesting. Juggling two things is rarely as entertaining. Grumble, grumble, grumble. With him over here, how on earth? Hair. Something like that? I'm gonna go something like that. Is a lady. Not looking extraordinarily impressed by what's going on. But I'm not, you know, annoyed or anything. It's evil, an evil woman. She's just not impressed by her friend's juggling skills. I would be, personally. What is perhaps more interesting is that the woman is A, wearing a suit. Which in and of itself is always a good look. But in this place, 1918, every woman you can find is wearing a dress. Woman wearing a suit. Stands out. Slightly more interestingly, though. Sorry, the 1918s. My apologies. Slightly more interesting, however, is the fact that she's wearing the same suit as the man. So they have matching suits. So from that, you may draw your conclusions as to whether or not this man is single. It's up to you. I do think she might be wearing a long skirt instead of trousers, but she's got the jacket. Now, they also have ginger hair. Just thought I'd point that out. And the suit I think they're wearing is like mustard. It's kind of a nice sort of brownie mustardy kind of thing. It's a nice suit. Suits them. Kind of something like that. Anyway, I will now ask this question directly of Chibi. Do you want to now walk up to them and meet them? You're welcome to say no. Don't like mustard colour or anything? Well, is it mustard? Let's have a look. Oh no, it's not really mustard. It's just sort of... Actually, I've got a jacket that colour. Sort of yellowy, beigey sort of thing. Also, they're wearing green ties. It's a good suit. People are shouting about babies, so you want to meet them. Cool. Well, you get out of the binoculars and you go up to where you saw them, and they're not there. You're also welcome to go back to the binoculars and look through the binoculars, and they're still there. One of those things in games, you know? Are they there or are they not? What? What's when? What is when? Bloody games. Honestly. Anyway, as you may have possibly ascertained by the reaction, we'll meet them again. Yeah, okay, next. What was it? There's a shop, there's a statue, and there's a parade. You gathered as much. Yeah, if your entire interaction with these two characters was you saw them through binoculars and one of them was juggling, probably unlikely to lead Miss to say, babies, best characters in the game. No, don't apologize. I just find it funny. It's like, these characters are amazing. And it's like, meanwhile, they are juggling in binoculars. Probably would lead you to say that. That is fair. That is fair. They're the best. I agree. Whether or not I can do them justice, I don't know, but we'll see. Let's go shopping. Let's go shopping. Okay, you walk into the shop. In the shop, there is sort of till area with a till on it. What's it called? Counter. That's probably the word. The word counter is always makes me think of Pokemon, because there's you get counter in Pokemon Red from a shop over the counter, and I was always confused as a kid. I was like, you walk up to the counter and then you get counter, and I'm like, am I carrying the counter? Yeah, and there's some pillars and stuff and so on and so forth. But at the moment, no one's here. Nobody's behind the till. Instead, there is a little plate on the top. People have gone to the parade or whatever. And they've left a little plate and they've left a little sign. Saying something like, please leave what you owe, or something like that. Basically, hey, you feel free to buy stuff, just leave the money here. And there's like a little pile of coins. Yeah, now, so you have a choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to take that money that no one's around to see you take, or do you want to leave it? It's an honor system. You don't take them as a good person should. Oh, I just remembered an old comic idea I was going to do with this game with the Outliers. I might do that. Let's go to the parade. You're going to leave the money? You're going to be a good person? Going to be a good citizen? There's just like some barrels of produce. You can also go behind the counter and steal stuff from there. You guess? Leave the money, it's got germs. You chaotic entity, not a thief! That's fair. In that case, I will stop drawing this terrible shop. To the parade! Am I gonna draw this? I will while I explain what's happening. So, I mean, when I say I will, I'm I'm going to attempt to. Luckily, this is a bit of an advantage, I guess. And steal people's hearts and fictional men. How's this gonna work? I don't know. So yeah, you get to the parade and there's like a bridge. I was about to say there's a bridge up. This was probably more important to say that there's a bridge down, because you basically get around this city by crossing bridges to and from floating platforms. But basically they got rid of a bridge in between two places and there's just like floats going by in between the two floating areas. But there's another baby in this game, but that one you will not spoil. Is there? I'm trying to work out who it is. I still haven't finished my refresher playthrough of it, so I'm a little rusty. And this is an obvious one. I don't know whether that'll be up Mrs. Street, but oh yes, yes, of course. I agree with that as well. Sorry, I was thinking more conventional. How dare I? A bird will get there. God knows whether I'm going to do that justice. Yeah, so you get to the parade. There's a parade of sort of floating, literally floating floats. They actually float. Going through a bit in between some areas, and you look around and you see some odd bits and bobses, including a horse. Here is a horse. Only it is not a horse. It is like sort of mechanical horse. Like robot horse. Automatos. Mechanical horse. But it's got like sort of decorative bits on it. And it's pulling like a wagon and stuff. So yeah, they got robots in this world. Robot horses. Robosses. And luckily, because it's a robot, it doesn't have to be accurate. And I think on the thing it's pulling... I've forgotten how horses... How do horse... Is it strapped to pull a big old cart?
Is this a mined horse?
A mined horse! I already made that joke. And you didn't like it then. I guess it is. I'm not using reference. So here's my mind horse. The horse is heavy ears, right? Mechanical ears. They don't attach properly. That's how you know they're mechanical. It's a good horse. It's not a good horse. Don't worry about it. Doesn't have to be. It's Uncanny Valley. Where's my color gone? Give me my color back. Thank you. Yeah, and it's pushing a thing, or pulling the thing, I should say, pulling a big old wagon, and on the wagon is a big old... How am I going to draw this? It's like this big old ball of electricity in a cage. Which is presumably the power source for this thing. What with it being a robot. It's buzzing everywhere. Like that. Probably what I should have done while this was happening was explained the things to look at, because past the parade, electric ball in a cage. Best baby. Yeah, past that is a little fair. There's a fair going on. And it's got lots of stalls and lots of things to look at. And yeah, you can have a look at various bits and pieces. You can have a look at the lady who's giving out free samples. You can go and see the shooting gallery. You can go to the big robot, which is on a stage. You can go to the stage that has people in devil costumes. Yeah. Lots of things to see. Where are we going? That's up to you. Gonna go see the people in the devil costumes? We can do that. Yeah, there's some stuff going on there. Right. Vibrates off the floating city. Okie dokie. So, we go to the stage with people dressed as devils. And there's like a sort of typical top-hatted... Hey, come and look at our wares, sort of thing. Person. Has a moustache. Because they always do. Hey, Gregory. Yes. But his product works. He's going, hey, look at the thing. And what is the thing? Well, it's two people on stage with wearing devil outfits. He's standing on a box, apparently. A lot of people standing on boxes. Also quite small now. Simultaneously too tall and too small. You get the idea. He's not the main attraction. That's the last time I got a free sample. Good. I'm still dealing with the side effects of the last time. Yeah, and they're on a sort of stage and it's got lots of light bulbs all lit up. See, I guess it shouldn't come as much of a surprise that this world has more advanced technology than it should do, given that we came here in a rocket. It's the 10-year-old kid in a costume. There is one thing nearby. When I said the binoculars are free, other things that you get to look through. You get these little sort of video reels, I guess, sort of news reels or cinema reel things that just sort of tell you a little bit about the history of the place and stuff like that. And one of them is an advert for cigarettes designed exclusively for kids. So that's fun. What? What's one? Remember that one? Yeah. These are the only cigarettes designed exclusively for children. Cigarettes help clear the lungs, the doctors say so. So there's the people in sort of... I can't remember exactly what they're wearing. So I'm going to say they're wearing capes and stuff. Because they are devils! And high heels. Very fitting with the fashion of the time. But yeah, probably the most important thing that you will notice from this, you wanted to see the devil lads. They're having a good time. Is that they're just doing magic. And by doing magic, I don't mean like, oh, pick a card. I mean, they're setting each other on fire or making each other float in the air. I can't remember what else they do. They do various bits and pieces of sort of, you know, just straight up magic. I swear, if Chibi gets more attached to these devil characters than anyone else. I mean, it will continue with my hypothesis of I have no idea what Chibi's going to like. It's a real possibility. Yeah, they're just doing some good old showmanship nonsense. And there's like... Music stopped. Let's start it again. Boom. He gave you Funky Devil lads. So yeah, they're just on stage and they're just showing off the wares. I should probably add a name to all this. This is... What do they call them in this game? Come on with fancy lettering. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? You've got to name it. Ignore what I just wrote. I need a name. I need the name of a kind of a snake oil salesman kind of person. Oh yeah, they're called... Does it have the U? Gregory. I need a full name. Also, I would be careful about implicating Gregory in this character. Yeah, I was just wondering, because it is American, but it is also early American, so maybe it does still have the U. I mean, you're never going to see the word written down again, but we'll go with it. Screw them, they don't know how to spell. Also, isn't Colombia the actual country spelled differently to... Is this Colombia? I'm pretty sure this is Colombia. Actually, it should be an S there, shouldn't it? I was doing a thing for Dark, doing some commissions, and so far Dark has asked. There's quite a lot of them, and Dark asked for a couple of changes, and one of the changes was basically this was before he knew I finished it. So this is, and it was worded very, you know, don't worry if this is too much effort. But basically he said, can you recolor this entirely? And on the face of it, you're like, oh my god, that's going to take so much work. But because of the way I do things, it was actually really easy to just completely change the base colors of everything. But then I did another thing, and Dark was like, oh, can you change in the text in that? Can you change an E to an I? And I'm like, oh god, that's going to be such a pain. And I just liked how, because of my process, turns out text is a bloody nightmare. And I just like the fact that changing all of the colors is easy peasy, but changing one letter, dear. It's my fault. I should come up with an easier process, but still have Dr. Terminus from Pete's Dragon. So it's not your, like I say, is in any other situation, if anybody was just doing like traditional art or something, the latter request would have been easy and the former request would have been bloody hard. It just so happens that in my case it was the other way around, and I found that very funny. Also, it's not your fault to apologize, because I'm pretty sure that was the only word I added of my own volition, and I didn't bother looking up the spelling, so that was my fault. Anyway, what have we got as a name? Gregory Terminus? Is that the name we're going with? Need to find an easy way to color. Oh, there's no easy way to color. But there are various different methodologies that make it easier to alter things later. So stop implicating the lad in these things. Look, this is why I decided to combine the two together, so then it's separate from all previous things. Also, you'll probably never hear the first name again. But you will, maybe a couple of times. You'll mostly hear the surname. So, said with an E but spelled with an I, yeah. Because I only ever heard it said, so just one of those words. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying doing those. They've been fun. How about Gregorus Termini? Oh, having the last name Termini actually is interesting. Love it. Print it. Gregorus Termini. Right out. These are Gregorus Terminis Vigors. Light bulbs. Lots of flashing lights, everything's exciting. Da, 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 da. They give you magic powers, literally. Actual magic powers. Oh, I should also specify, there's a lot of flags and things around, so a lot of things are red, white, and blue. The flags, I think I'm right in saying, aren't actually like just straight up American flags. They're just sort of, they got the stripes, but then they've got like a cut-off bit. Is it like that or like that? I can't remember exactly how it is. And then like just sort of 3 stars. I think I might be wrong about this. Either way, it's got the same iconography of the American flag, but it's not the same. I don't know. Maybe that was an old American flag. I don't know anything about American history, but you see, there's a lot of red, white, and blue going on here. Which in and of itself, I always find quite funny. It's like, America, red, white, and blue, and it's like, it's also the British flag and the French flag, and like you got your independence, and then you got a flag with the same colours. That's a flag of a different country? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we'll add a stick of gum. Welcome to Kagumbia. The Dutch flag. There's a lot of tricolours that are red, white, and blue. Turns out. Right, well, we've been to see the devils. What else is there? There's a shooting gallery. There's lady giving out free samples. There's the exit. There's Puerto Rico. Nice. Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, that must be what I was thinking of with the triangle. Actually, hang on, let's look up. I've drawn it now, so I'm allowed to look it up. Oh no, they do go with the triangle. But it's 3 stars. Okay, well, it's a pack of chewing gum now. Yeah, so what did I say? Shooting gallery, so like a little arcade, like a fun fair sort of shooting range. There's free samples, there's exit, there's other things, big robot. The United States of Puerto Rico. Free samples! Exciting tippy tap. Let's get some free samples. Can do. Right, so you walk up to this nice lady wearing a sort of what I can only describe as a sort of faux farmer's outfit kind of thing. That sort of, you know, what you would call a kind of quaint, puffy sleeves and sort of overall-y sort of thing going on. And she's got a big old tray full of free samples. I think she might also have pigtails or something. I don't know how hair works. And she's like, hey, do you want a free sample? It's a good time. And you're like, yeah, sure, what is it? Start with M's hair, then braid it. If that's, you've misunderstood M's hair. Got a bit of a mini beef going on there. Sure, I don't know what's going on with your face. It's fine. I don't think you could braid M's hair now. You could try, and you will lose whatever implements you are attempting to tame it with. After her free samples. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her. Yeah, she's got little fancy little bottles of free samples with like funky little tops. I will say one of the things I really quite like in this game is the bottle designs. That sounds weird, But honestly, really cool. Albatross. They want to see Mal trying to brush his LMs there. He gave up on that years ago. Nice, and the sound design, the Foley, honestly. No one ever cares much about Foley in games, but a good Foley makes me very happy, and this game has very good Foley. Yeah, so I'm absolutely not going to do these bottles justice, but they're all fancy styled. I think they might even have like a figure on them in the glass, like molded into it. It's real cool. Bioshock game sound, yeah. Yeah, and she's like, hey, have a free sample, take some. And Jack being Jack, just takes it, why not? That's not how thumbs work.
There are severed body parts strewn all over the office.
Lovely. I will say that by coming here, well, I'll mention that in a sec. I guess I should be grateful that quite a lot of the women in this game are just wearing dresses, because it saves me having to draw legs. You're hoping for it won't open. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, so Jack just sort of drinks one of the weird sample things. And has a time. Strong stuff, turns out. Yeah, so things happen. And that's the Drawthrough. The end. Hope you enjoyed it. Things happen, roll credits. Women lose their legs wherever they wear dresses. From an artistic standpoint, yes. I mean, to be fair, that doesn't just apply to women. This is true of everybody. You wear a dress, you lost your legs. Sorry, I don't make the rules. So yeah, Jack just basically starts seeing ghosts, just sort of swirling around everywhere, swirling around his hands and stuff. Ooh. Get the idea. What's really out of Mal in a dress? Yeah, still having legs. It's a long dress. Mal can't do with a long dress. You can't kick anyone in the face with a long dress. It's too restrictive. Every time you put on a dress, someone comes in to chop off your legs. Don't need them anymore. It's fine. Yeah, in this world, a dress is long. You're not getting away anywhere in bloody Colombia with a short dress. Sometimes you drink something a stranger gives you and you see ghosts for a bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, you drink a Vigor. Well done. You drank one of Gregorus Termini's patented Vigors. Free sample. It's on the house, and now you can see ghosts. But more importantly, now you can make ghosts. You have acquired the ability to possess inanimate objects. By throwing a ghost at them. It happens. Yeah, so you can... But yeah, you can possess inanimate objects. Mainly like, you know, machines. You can make them do things and such. You can go back to that till and steal all the money in that. I thought you meant make ghosts as in murder someone. What a euphemism. I'm gonna go make some ghosts. He's not a murderer, he's a ghost maker. He's not a murderer, he's a true crime writer. So yeah, that was the free sample. So, we now have the ability to possess inanimate objects. Hooray! Vigor number 1. I'm glad we were introduced to Vigors before we used one. That's nice. Yeah. That's probably one of the things that the devils were showing off. One of them possesses the other one, even though they're not a machine. Don't worry about it. Do you always get ghosts in the free sample? Yes. Yes, whenever anybody offers you a free sample, it has ghosts in it. That's why it's free. You can't legally sell a ghost. Has to erase the day. Has to wipe away the debt. That's not what you meant, and I know it. See, there you underestimate my inability to work out what anyone's saying. In the game. I know in the game. Do you mean, like, can you get more than ghosts at this particular point? Do you always get ghosts? Yes, you do. As will become apparent shortly. Yeah, so... Sorry, I didn't realize you were saying that. Yeah, again, you underestimate my abilities to just have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm a social moth. I get easily distracted by pretty lights. Yeah, anyway, you got ghosts now. Hooray. That's fun. What have we got left? We've got a big robot. We've got the exit. And a shooting range. It's got to have a long watching BuzzFeed Unsolved videos, but aside from that, you're fine. No! Stay away from BuzzFeed, you're allergic. Don't eat bee food. Make sure you look after yourself. I know there's probably almost certainly nothing you can do. It's communication, it happens. I know, it just happens quite frequently with me. Don't eat bee food with BuzzFeed, right? That's what it's called. Anyway, let's find the babies. yeah, we've got a giant robot. We got, well, not a giant robot. We've got a big robot. We've got shooting range, and we have the exit, which is in and of itself an entrance to something, which you don't know until you go there. Usually, the exit to a place in a game is an entrance to something else because games need to progress. But by the way, I should specify this whole approach of, hey, you got a bunch of options, where do you want to go? That's basically almost over. The game is quite linear. But I thought I'd give you the opportunity to look at some stuff, you know? Robert Gonzesit? What? This whole miscommunication thing is becoming a problem. Go through the exit, it just turns off the game. That sounds like an Undertale thing. Let's go and see a Robert. It's slightly mischievous about the description of this being a robot. I guess it's... Oh, now I've got to draw it. Oh, bloody hell. You have these ideas. Right, so... So, Ribbit the Robert. Ah, my head hurts. So I'm just gonna put big little rivets on this thing. Make it show there's a robot. But it's not, strictly speaking, a robot. Oh no, I lied. Mr. Bubbles is not Mr. Bubbles. But like Mr. Bubbles, it's not strictly speaking a robot. I'm not even sure anyone said Mr. Bubbles was a robot. But this says there's a person. Yeah. They look fine, don't worry about it. There's the bubbles as the babies, old baby bubbles. Old baby bubbles. There's the bubbles as a friend. Until they're not. And here we see just a good old fashioned human heart. With just like bits going into it. Not going into the ventricles, that'd be too easy. You don't remember that? I didn't notice it on my first playthrough either. And then I got the art book and I'm like, ah! And then you look and it's like, oh, okay. So, what this is another one of good old Gregorus's Termini's patented inventions. This is the HandyMan. I'm gonna give him a hat. The HandyMan. Nice hat. Yeah. I can't remember. I think the limbs are inexplicably thin, but all the bits are huge. Okay. So the idea of the HandyMan is that it is essentially how can I word this? A disability aid. It essentially, the idea being, hey, you are basically unable to move, you have health problems, why not become a handyman, and now you can do stuff. Not only can you do stuff, you can do stuff humans can't do, like lift buildings. They're pretty strong. Having a heart outside your body is a bit of a disability. That kind of happens, it's part of the process, don't worry about it. Also, the arms are inexplicably extraordinarily long. So yeah, very, very generously. Termini's HandyMan project can restore you beyond your original capabilities and give you a life you never even dreamt that you could have. And you get big old hands. Yeah, there's nightmare fuel in the Bioshock games. This is like, aside from the vigors, the animations of the vigors happening, though so far we've had ghosts, which is not too bad, but some of the vigors get a bit fun. There's not a lot of that sort of thing in this game. They sort of eschewed that, which is a shame, because if you look at the art book, whoa, they had some good ideas. There's some really funky stuff in there that I want to see turned into a game, quite frankly, but they went for a different direction with this, and that's fine. Anyway, so here's a handyman here to help you, and also to help themselves by giving them a new lease on life as a big robot. Your dream as a person was always to get big old robotic hands. Well, now you can, at the expense of having whatever this is happen to you. There's probably some hydraulics going on. It's a complicated mechanical contraption. But it is possible, only with the help of Gregorus Termini, that's it. For scale, I will add another top hat person. Then again, I'm not entirely sure what the top hat person's scale is. They were quite tiny last time, but don't worry about it. Over that, it looks absolutely miserable. Don't worry, it's fine. They're doing lots of things. They're picking stuff up. It's a big old demonstration. They're showing how strong they are. They're participating. Ignore the expression. And the strange moans and groans. I love me a good hip thrust forward stance. It's a good time. So yeah, they're pretty big. It's a great hip thrust. Have another sign. So yeah, I do feel like this was at least one of the attempts in the game to create Big Daddy 2.0. I'm gonna have a lot of free space at the end of this. There we go. Gregorus Termini's patented handyman. They're big, they're strong. They can get you up and moving again. Hooray! For Gregorus Terminus. They don't look like they can fit inside an average building. They can't! That's why, you're correct. I should specify this isn't like a bubble or anything, this is sort of like a back plate behind the head, and the head's just sort of poking out of a hole. Like that. So they're breathing fresh air. Or as fresh as you can be. This has probably got a big old exhaust pipe on the back with smoke coming out of it, but whatever. Yeah, that leaves the shooting gallery and the exit. Four exclamation points! Sheer madness! I like how you can see my attempts at getting half straight lines just collapses as we go along. You want to shoot things? Oh, well, you're going to have to give me another name then. I've just thought about that. Let's go shoot things. That's the curtain. You get the idea. The shooting gallery. The little carnival things. You get a gun and it pops up and you shoot. This is essentially your tutorial on shooting in the game. I did mention this is an FPS, right? But how could this is not an FPS, this is a life simulator. You're wandering around this lovely place. Everything's going to be great. You should know that the exit ready doors will be last. True. But we did the very first choice I gave you was, hey, do you want to go to the shrine, or do you want to talk to the baptizee person? And you went, let's talk to the guy. And you never saw the shrine. How many points do we get for shooting Grigori? None, because Grigori is not a target. What are the targets? Very good point. Also, this isn't a pop gun. This is just an actual gun. It's like a shotgun. Got like a weird design. I don't know what's going on with these things. There's guns, whatever. It's on a little stand. Could you imagine if they actually put like a little fake cap gun in the game that you could sort of pick up here? There would almost certainly be a cap gun only % run. What could we possibly need to shoot? Didn't say baptizing person. You can see the person when you ask the question. I did say that they were standing in a pool, but from that, you know, even then, baptizing person, you probably wouldn't have guessed that that was the way out. That's a hot dog. It's a gun. Actually, I think this is called a hot something, isn't it? Or do you get an upgrade for it, which is a hot? Whatever, doesn't matter. It's not a hot dog, it's a ferret. No, it's not a ferret. Beaver. That's the one. The beaver gun. Don't know what to expect from this game. Maybe you just like standing in pools. That's fair. Either way, there's a reason I'm saying it's the exit. Also because it's quite clearly the exit. If I just said, why didn't you go and look at the machine by this conspicuously large gate? You know. Anyway, so what is in here? In here is a variety of cardboard cutouts of like trees and things. It's sort of like a nighttime scene. If I remember correctly. And you are encouraged to shoot the targets as they either pop up or come along this little line here. What are we shoosting? And you are shoestring. I am gonna need a name. A feminine sounding name, full name. But in general, you are shooting the Vox Populi. And they're sort of like grappling onto this thing here. And they're wearing like red waistcoats. And they're all scraggly. And they look angry. The Vox Populi. Jeffalyn? Quite like Jeffalyn. They're carrying guns as well. So you gotta be careful. They're coming to get you and you gotta shoot them with the thing. There's something Beaverworth. I don't know. But yes, I'll need a female character's full name. Because you get bonus points for shooting them. Yeah, bonus points for shooting the owner of the store. No, there's just a specific character that pops up. Yeah, sure, you've got a thing. I don't know how hands work. There's like a pop-up one here. I think they made it look quite grotesque, in various ways. There's a bit of caricaturing going on. So yeah, there's a shooting gallery, you shoot the Vox Populi, you get points. And if you get enough points, you get money. And it's essentially your tutorial into how to fire a gun in this game, because you won't have to do it, obviously. It'll be fine. And you can try as many times as you like. It's a good little shooting minigame. It's fine. Which was good for me, because this was my first sort of... Yeah, this was definitely my first computer FPS. So, yeah, I was very bad at it. So I spent quite a lot of time shooting these things. Helping you practice hitting small moving targets on zip lines. You'll never need that. It's fine. Yeah, there's also... I'm going to put them behind a tree. I'm pretty sure they're just on the zip line, but I'm going to put them behind a tree. Shrouded in darkness. Is who? Jeffaline Beaverworth. Are we going Jeffaline Beaverworth? Apparently, yes. Okay, bonus points for shooting Jeffaline Beaverworth. Am I gonna have to write this down? Less snappy than the one in the game, but it's fine. It works. Yeah. Who is apparently the leader of the Vox Populi. Whatever that means. You're getting to name things yet. We look, the tradition of you naming things started off with every character being called Jesse. I'm used to it. It's fine. And all that remains is to go to the exit. So let's do that. At the exit, you see a couple of things. You see a ticket machine. And the ticket machine is sort of like an automaton. And it basically goes, hey, do you want to enter the fair? I'm going to need to see your ticket. And you say, oh, I don't have a ticket. Started off with everyone being named Jesse. Could only go up from there. Oh, I'm sure you can come up with more inventive ways to screw me over. I believe in you. And yeah, it basically says, hey, I'm gonna need your ticket. And you say, I don't have a ticket. It says, well, come back with a ticket. Luckily for us, we don't have a ticket. That's not lucky, but tickets. Actually, that's probably what's written on the ticket machine, isn't it? This is an entrance machine. Luckily for us, we do have something else though, which may help us out of this pickle. I.e. the ability to possess machines. With ghosts. I don't know how they thought that could possibly go wrong. Let's put the ticket system right next to the person who's giving out free samples that allow us to bypass the ticket system. Guess we do, yeah. So that's why you always get ghost. That's not why you always get ghost, but again, that's kind of your tutorial. Can't move on till you've used it. So yeah, you just you're possessed with a little ghostage. I'm gonna give the ghost eyes. And the machine's like, oh, well, excellent. Well, go on right ahead. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. You'd argue that the fire vigor would also be helpful, but that's just you. I feel like that would be more conspicuous. Also, look, we're just here to find a girl, bring her back. What's the problem? Forgot they had the unsettling robo vendors, yeah. Luckily, I don't think I'm going to have a reason to draw one of them again. So, moving on. Still have, yep, we're still here. We're trying to find the girl. Apparently, we need to find somewhere called Monument Island. And we'll find the girl, take it back, settle the debt. Life's good. It'll be fine. So we got our tickets. On the hunt for babies. Indeed. Indeed. Speaking of which, we go through the gate, where we are greeted by two somewhat familiar faces. Who encourage us to participate in a little thing that they're indulging in. Drawing things. A little thing indeed, yes. Very simple thing. They give you a coin, and they ask you to toss it, heads or tails. I should specify, they have a little tally board. Heads on this side. Tails on this side. So far, there have been 4 heads. You do not have that big a forehead. Or indeed that big a chin. Is the coin flip rigged? As far as I know, it's a fair coin. The urge to say tails to be contrary is strong. It's not a Sparrowson situation. Oh, miss. Given that you may be otherwise unoccupied, I don't know your schedule. You may be interested in watching if Chibi plans on streaming it again. Aviary Attorney, which was played last stream. If not, there's a VOD there. Because there's a character in that, which just immediately made us think of you. Flipped an actual coin and got tails. Fantastic. You coughed and missed the name of the game. Aviary Attorney. You ever considered you might be related to a bird? It's a well, lawyer detective game about being a bird in the pre-French Revolution, France. Drawings. You would enjoy being related to a bird. So yes, if you hadn't already worked this out, this is the same characters that we saw through the binoculars. She's holding the chalk with an inexplicably thin thumb. And yes, they say heads or tails. They alternate between. One says heads and the other one says or tails. They seem to finish each other's sentences. They also have quite strong British accents. They're also accompanied by fun accordion music. Not fun accordion music. Weird accordion music, but fun weird. Kind of polka, well, not polka. What's the word? Tango-y sort of thing? Yeah, not polka. Anyway, they say heads or tails. Fun accordion music. I guess I could play that if we got it. That should be copyright free. Well, it might get caught. Yep. Great timing, the Grim Fandango soundtrack just stopped. You got tails with your RL corn flip, so you say tails. Okay, you Jack takes the coin, flips. heads. What timing on the music, lovely. Yeah, to get heads. You do get to look at the coin. It is a fair coin. There is a heads, there is a tails. You get to flip it. So you're wrong. Dot dot dot. It's heads. Like, who are you? Leave me alone. I'd probably set the scale before I do anything. I said they're probably about at the same height. Make this make a bit more sense. Yeah, the swiftness of this scene is rather lost on the fact that it's going to take me 10 minutes to draw it. But this scene does not last long at all. And that's their theme gone. I just like the accordion bit. The good. Anyway, back to Bioshock. It's gonna happen a lot with these two. I get to enjoy them longer, yeah. Done. I'm gonna do that a lot, I think. I've got a draw through to do. Anyway, you flip it, comes up heads. The lady goes up to the thing, puts a little jump, puts a little cross across the tally. I believe she then touches the man on the chin and says, "Don't worry, better luck next time." And then they walk away. Good for them, indeed. And on the back of the board, you see that they've been doing this for a while. His heads, his tails. And off they go into the sunset, by which I mean they're going to talk by a wall. I always love how they just awkwardly walk away to a wall and just sort of stand there. So yeah, that is them. Juggling, coin flipping, British accenting. Couple of friends. And I think we may leave it there. Hey, there they are. Flip a coin. Oh, there's also balloons and banners everywhere because you're at a fair. Also, apparently more than 4 flips had already been done of heads. 7. Well, if you look at the back, definitely more than 7. Yeah. You can see just how inaccurately I've drawn them. Yeah. Ah, so the male says goes back. I'll remember that. I won't. I'll forget it. Thanks for coming along to Estrem. Again, apologies if I didn't give enough advance warning that this was happening on Wednesday as opposed to a Saturday. But again, a lot of people are doing RPG things on a Saturday. I think in particular this Saturday.
The door is frozen shut. It won't budge.
See, this is the thing. You went to the free sample before you went to the door. There was a locked door, but you got the key before you found the door. There's the first opportunity to find a locked door and you missed it. They're very recognizable. I like them. They're cool. I like their design.
The doors are tightly sealed.
Doors are tightly sealed. Don't worry. We'll have plenty of other opportunities in the future. Yeah. So yeah, I should specify.
Locked
You do get
tight. I can't get inside.
Okay, I won't specify. It's fine. And with that, we are done with Bioshock Infinite. That was the game. Coin flipping simulator. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week we'll be starting something different. No. So yeah, tomorrow I will be carrying on with Bloodborne. I know there's RPGs happening, but I'll be here. If in your fancy, we should actually plan is to finish the DLC and then hopefully start the broccoli thing. But then again, given how long it took me to get past the first boss of the DLC, who knows? We have to introduce the other baby. Will we get there? We might not get there. Hopefully we'll get there. Then you can throw the Drawthrough in the bin. No, because like it takes a long time to realize that it's baby. They're baby.
I'm gonna fucking die here, Jack!
Ah, if only that was the hurry up one. That would have been even better. Jack appeared on screen, you had to do it. Well then. Oh dear. Good old Hoover. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of introductory prep stuff happening here. When the game gets going proper, it should go a lot faster. And we'll just sort of hop scene to scene for dialogue to dialogue, because at the moment there's not a lot of gameplay and there's a lot of just exploring the world. Once inciting incidents happen, it'll be a bit more pressing forward, although I did hope to get basically what we've done in the last 2 streams and probably what we'll do in the next stream done in 1 stream. So maybe this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Still have no idea what's going on in the game, but you're having fun. Good, that's how you should feel. Part of the game is about trying to work out what's going on and then going, Did you make a peek through the gap on purpose? I like sticking things in that little niche there. It's fun. But yeah, when I design those, I always try and, if I'm putting something extra in there, why not? Yeah. So I'll be back on Saturday with some Bloodborne, and then Sunday with some friend streams. It's a miss. It's weird, like there's a picture of Miss, and it's like I look at that and go, that's nothing like what Miss looks like. my internalized image of Miss has become a lot clearer.
Sigh.
So yeah, I hope you're enjoying. I assume there may or may not. That's not an assumption. That's a fact. If you list every exhaustible possibility, it's a fact. I don't know if there's going to be a chibi stream tomorrow. Is there going to be a chibi stream? There might be. Who knows? If there is, hopefully I'll be there. But I'll be back on Saturday. Patreon hangout on Friday for people's. Yeah, chip stream. Yeah. Saturday Bloodborne, Sunday draws, Tuesday Bloodborne, Wednesday back to this. So yeah, let's learn a little bit more about this world. We won't. We'll actually just set up some stuff that won't pay off for another month, but it's fine. Hi Schwimp, how you doing? Have a good evening, everybody. Have a good remainder of the week. Hopefully you look after yourselves. Hopefully those of you who aren't a bit under the weather, maybe you'll get hopefully better. Fingers crossed. And somebody will give you nice things. Fingers crossed. Have a lovely time, everyone. Look after yourselves, and goodbye!